Well, good evening, and welcome to the 2020 Youth of the Year celebration. I am honored to be hosting this annual event. My name is Ardavia Lee, and I am the 2019 State Youth of the Year. Since becoming Youth of the Year, I have been able to continue my leadership at Delaware State University, where I served as vice president for the largest incoming class, and I will be continuing that leadership as president of Women's Senate for the 2020 to 2021 academic school year. And also, a little tidbit was the Youth of the Year last year for the H. Fletcher Brown Club was my roommate. So that just shows you how great the bonds that you guys have will be here. So at this time, please welcome John Wellens, CEO and President of the Boys and Girls Club of Delaware, and Mike Hare, Chairman of the Corporate Board.
Thank you, Ardavia. It's always great to see you and so many other former Youth of the Year. We actually have a few others with us today. Nakai Morales is with us, who is our 2017 Youth of the Year. Corinne Henry, our 2018, is back here. And you all have already met Ardavia. Thank you all for being here. It is a great bond between Youth of the Year finalists throughout all the years. My name is John Wellens, and I'm the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Delaware, and I thank you all for attending this evening in person as well as virtually. 2020 has required a lot of us. Many of us have found innovation where we didn't know we had it, and like with that theme, tonight is the first time that we have held a statewide Facebook Live event, so for those of you who happen to be watching online, we hope that it's working and you can see and hear us. Before I go any further, I'd like to thank our sponsors who've made this program possible this year. For those of you who don't know, the Youth of the Year program is more than just this celebration this evening. It's a 4 to 6 month long process that these finalists have participated in. And our sponsors ensure that we have the funding to be able to deliver a program that's got a lot of depth as well as integrity, and we're very indebted to each of them for their support. It's incredibly important. Our presenting sponsors this year are DuPont, M&T Bank, and State Farm. Our signature sponsor is Capital One. Silver sponsor is the Colfax Corporation. We have a number of folks who've sponsored the finalist awards and gifts: Arthur Hall Insurance, Brown Advisory, Dalton and Associates, Safeguard Group, and Tech Impact, as well as some scholarship sponsors, Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and Johnny Janosic. And finally, our community partner this year is Bank of America. So we could all give those sponsors a round of applause. They've done so much to make this great event. Youth of the Year really represents the core mission of our Boys and Girls Clubs, and that is inspiring and enabling young people. The selection process for these finalists requires dedication that helps build skills for them in writing, public speaking, and cultivates self-confidence for them that will serve them well in their bright futures as they go on from here. This 2020 edition of Youth of the Year has lacked some of the standard elements thanks to COVID-19. These kids missed out on their long weekend in Rehoboth Beach, and we're not at the Queen Theater having a grand event. We're here in the lobby at our Greater Dover Club, which is a great venue, but not quite that nice. However, the core of the program has remained, and it's given these 8 finalists an opportunity to grow and build strong relationships with their peers as well as their staff mentors who've been with them throughout this journey. Today, we're going to name our Military Youth of the Year as well as the George Krapansky Delaware Youth of the Year, which is named in honor of our former longtime CEO, George Krapansky, who is here with his wife, Carla. George. Regardless of who wins tonight, hope that you all know that you are extremely proud of each one of you, and that will always be here to support and guide each one of you as you move on to your future endeavors. I thank you all for participating in this program, and I'm really excited to hear from some of you tonight, and really appreciate everybody participating in the event. So thank you very much. And this is Mike Hare, who is the chair of our corporate board.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As John said, my name is Mike Hare. I am chair of the corporate board, and on behalf of the corporate board of directors, our trustees, our honorary board, our unit board members, the countless volunteers, and the staff of the Boys and Girls Club of Delaware, welcome. Congratulations to our finalists. This, as John has described, as you're clearly aware, these are unprecedented times, the way we celebrate. John mentioned that one of the losses with the way we've structured the event this year is that no weekend in Rehoboth. I do want to remind each and every one of you that John does have a home in Lewis, so that once the pandemic clears, we'll see that you get to stay with him for a weekend, and so you won't lose out on that. This is Juneteenth, June 19th, and as you all know, the governor declared it as a holiday in the state of Delaware. The mayor of Wilmington did the same, and so in doing so, the governor said, let's take time, especially this year, for a day of reflection, and I think many of us have done that. But tonight we take pause from that reflection for recognition, to recognize your extraordinary accomplishments as young men and women and your connection to the Boys and Girls Club of Delaware. I imagine in your speeches tonight, we'll hear how the Boys and Girls Club have impacted your lives. And we want you to know that your lives have impacted the Boys and Girls Club of Delaware. We're proud of you, and we're proud to have known you. This is certainly as a board member, as a former club kid, this is one of the most affirmational events, evenings of the year for me, regardless of whether it's just the Boys Club. It's moving, it's compelling. Your lives have touched ours, and we look forward to your speeches tonight, and we're grateful that you're with us and that your families are here. Arguably the most difficult task is to judge our Youth of the Year, because we have so many talented and deserving recipients. But I do want to acknowledge our judges. First, Natasha Adair from the University of Delaware Women's Basketball, Chris Benfer from Blue Rock Avenue 1, Ray Fitzgerald, Delaware Division of Health and Social Services, Department of Health and Social Services, Division of Social Services, Juan Edward Johnson, State Farm Insurance, and Andrea Valentine, who's the presiding judge from Strive Leadership. So if we can acknowledge our judges. So again, I thank you for competing for the Youth of the Year, for your commitment and presence in our clubs, and wish you all well. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. So, now let's meet our finalists. When I call your name, please come up and receive your medallion and certificate. From the H. Fletcher Brown Club, Jaheim Gadsden. From the Greater Newark Club, Sharice Johnson. From the Dover Air Force Base, Alexia Jordan. From the Greater Milford Club, Hannah Kemp. From the Western Sussex Club, Ali Mauer. From the Clarence Frame Club, Donovan Morales. From the Greater Dover Club, Tiana Cherbet. And from the Claymont Club, Yasim Washington. Please, let's give it up one more time for our 2020 Youth of the Year finalists. These young men and women have been working for months, some even years, to become the Youth of the Year for their club. As part of the Youth of the Year process, finalists were required to submit 3 essays on their club experience, what matters to them, and overcoming obstacles. During the selection event, the finalists gave a speech on the content of their essays. Throughout the program tonight, you will be hearing 4 of these speeches. So, please welcome Cherise Johnson from the Greater Newark Club.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cherise Johnson. Like they said, I'm from the Greater Newark Boys and Girls Club. I am a woomer. Wondering what a woomer means? It means that I was born at the Boys and Girls Club. The Greater Newark Boys and Girls Club raised me since my dad was the program director. When I was 5, I became an official club kid, membership card and all. I was the youngest kid in camp, but I didn't care. I just loved being able to participate. The best part of my day was coming to the club and participating in programs like Smart Girls, Money Matters, and Club Tech. But basketball was in my bloodline, and my love for basketball began at the club. In my early years, I played in the in-house league, and when I was old enough, I joined the Lady Sharks girls basketball program. I've experienced so much being a Lady Shark, and I loved every minute of it, from traveling to attending sports games and making new friends. But then middle school rolled around, and in a snap, my life at the club, as I knew it, changed. The club played a crucial part in my childhood and development, and the day my dad told us he would be leaving changed me. I didn't know how I could continue there without him, but the staff rallied around me and my brother, and we remained in all of our favorite programs. And even though my dad wouldn't be there every day, we would still have family. Transitioning from middle school to high school was difficult for me. I had feelings of depression that I didn't know what to do with, and I felt like no one understood me at all. But throughout this trying time, I relied on my club family the most. The staff gave me the guidance and comfort I needed to get through the tough times. My mentors talked with me about ways to better handle myself at home and advice on how to navigate all the feelings I was dealing with. But just when I started to feel like I may have this teen thing down, just like that, my life flashed before my eyes again. This time, much scarier. At the beginning of February, I was in a near-death car accident driving home from a basketball game. And a week later, I tore my ACL in my senior recognition game. Once again, I was consumed with uncertainty. My vision for my future was blurry, and I struggled with processing how I felt. I soon realized that the club was my safe haven. I focused on the programs at the club and really threw myself into our Keystone Club to keep my mind occupied. The Boys and Girls Club is my biggest support system, and by simply having their doors open, they are honestly saving lives. The thing I love most about my club is our legacy. I believe our legacy is not in the banners that hang on the wall or the trophies that sit in the trophy case, but the relationships we develop with each other and make sacrifices for the greater good. It's the notion that if one of us is hurting, we're all hurting, and if one of us succeeds, we all celebrate. Club alumni often praise the staff and their commitment to the kids, and I would agree. I've come to the realization that I will always be known as Robbie's daughter, but I hope everyone now sees that I have developed into my own person. I am grateful for him giving me my start at the club, and I can only hope that I can impact club youth in the same manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Cherise, for those powerful words. Now please welcome Yasim Washington from the Claymont Club.
Close your eyes. Imagine being so small you could fit in someone's hand. That was my reality. When I was born, I weighed 1 pound and 8 ounces. I was extremely premature. Due to my father being in jail, I always struggled to find a good father figure in my life. He was always in and out of my life. He was always in and out of my life. I'm sorry. He was always in and out of my life. And eventually I told him, if he doesn't man up, I don't want him in my life anymore. Transition into later on in my life. He went to trade school. Now he has his own construction company. Thank you. When I stumbled upon the Boys and Girls Club, I quickly noticed I wasn't looking for a father figure. I was searching for a family. It was everything I needed, whether it was to get homework done, play basketball, or interact with people. I have lost a lot of people in my life. One person in particular was my grandma. Sadly, she lost her battle to cancer. She was a loving woman. My favorite memory of her was that she always watched Jeopardy. For some reason, she always watched Jeopardy, always. Me personally, I never liked Jeopardy, but I would watch it because she loved it. Transition to now, I'm a senior in high school with a 3.0 GPA. Yes, I've been through a lot, but I don't look at problems as problems. I look at problems as challenges, and I face them head on. For the last 7 months, I've been homeless. Yes, it's been hard, but I have good people in my corner, such as Miss Kaylin, Miss Paradise, Mr. Moon. I'm thankful to be nominated as one of the Youth of the Year candidates. Lastly, I want to say I'm really thankful for Miss Caitlin. She's really helped me to become who I am today. Honestly, five months ago, I wouldn't be on this podium. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. At this time, we would like to welcome John Wellens and Mike Hare back to the podium to present the 2020 Military Youth of the Year Award. There are Boys and Girls Clubs of virtually every U.S. military base, home and abroad, and those clubs too participate in the Youth of the Year program. Local Youth of the Year winners from military Boys and Girls Clubs follow a separate track in competing for the national honors. The winner that emerges from that track then joins the 5 regional YOY winners from non-military clubs in competing for the overall National Youth of the Year title. This year's Delaware State Military Youth of the Year winner will receive our traditional On Wings Like Eagles trophy, as well as recognition plaque and a $2,500 scholarship from the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Receiving the winner is John Wellens, President and CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs of Delaware, and Mike Hare, Chairman of the Boys and Girls Clubs Corporate Board of Directors. Now, I am proud to introduce to you the 2020 Military Youth of the Year for the state of Delaware, Alexia Jordan.
Don't we all love public speaking, huh? I just want to start out by saying I'm very grateful to be a part of my club, not only the Dover Air Force Base Club, but I'm also active member of the Greater Newark Club, along with the Lady Sharks such as Charisse. I want to thank my mom for being always in my corner, and my grandma for always being there when others wouldn't step up, and my mentors, Miss Amanda, Mr. Rob, Mr. West, Ms. Bonnie. I just want to thank them for putting me in this position. Thank you.
Congratulations once again, Alexia. Now, Please welcome Tiana Cherbet from the Greater Dover Club to the podium to share their Youth of the Year speech.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tiana Cherbet. May the flowers remind us why the rain was necessary. This is a quote that speaks to me like no other. Growing up, my home life was like a storm. Too young to understand this storm, yet too agonizing to forget. My mother, the person I needed to guide and protect me, turned out to be the eye of this storm. She fell victim of drug abuse. My brother and I spent very little time with her. However, when we did, it was time spent locked in a room with her for hours at a time. While in the room with her, she'd talk to herself and say mean things to me and my brother. But looking back now, I just assumed these were the mood swings associated with her addiction. It was evident she needed help. Enough pain for a lifetime, but that wasn't the end. We were only 8, but I remember it like it was yesterday. My uncle was brutally murdered, shot 5 times in his sleep by a family member. This left a permanent scar to not just myself, but my family as well. A piece of our family was missing, and no one knew how to cope with this reality. Drugs and alcohol soon became my family's therapy for dealing with this pain. I needed an escape and a break from my harsh reality. This is when my aunt suggested I attend the teen program. I was anxious and uncertain about going into a new environment. Then I realized I'd be seeing new faces. I could be whoever I wanted to be. I didn't have to be that girl whose mom is addicted to drugs or the one whose uncle fell victim to gun violence anymore. The dark clouds didn't seem so dark anymore. The big blue sky opened up, and I felt the golden sun. The Greater Dover Boys and Girls Club welcomed me with open arms. This gave me a sense of security and acceptance. It became easier to connect with the staff and members around me. At this moment, I realized my new journey begun. I realized the dark times of the past provided the rain that watered the seed of potential in an 8-year-old girl. This seed has grown into my passion of helping others who struggle with traumatic experiences as well as mental health issues. My passion for caring for others and giving back to the community has blossomed here. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and months turned into years. Throughout the years, I became president of the Keystone Club. Through this club, I assisted Craft Foods with feeding the homeless, as well as participating in the Angel Tree Project, donating toys to less fortunate children. I've been employed for 3 years as a child care assistant, helping the babies bloom into the beautiful individuals they are. I stand before you today, not as the one whose mom is addicted to drugs or the one whose uncle fell victim to gun violence, but as the flower that has bloomed throughout the storm. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiana. Very inspiring. Now please welcome Allie Maurer from the Western Sussex Club to share their Youth of the Year speech.
Hello, everyone. I'm Allie Maurer from the Western Sussex Boys and Girls Club. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. In June of 2017, I had a family friend commit suicide 5 days after his 17th birthday. He, like myself, had been adopted, and I believe may have felt unwanted by his biological family, which led to his depression. I know that feeling. I have been there several times and thought that suicide was my only solution. Therefore, an issue that is very important to me is teen suicide. On average, one person dies due to suicide every 11 minutes. Therefore, by the time all of the Youth of the Year had finished their speeches, 2 people had already killed themselves. I was told I had no idea what I was going to do with my life.
and I struggled with being adopted and the fact that I am biracial. I felt as though being me wasn't good enough and that I had nothing to live for. If it wasn't for the programs and the impact that the Boys and Girls Club has had on my life, I would not be here today. I started in a youth basketball program, and I attended the Seaford Youth Police Academy, which has fueled my desire to become a police officer one day. I volunteered in the 21st Century and child care programs, and most recently, I've become a lifeguard at the pool in my club. I contribute a large part of the fact I'm here today to these experiences and the bonds I have been so blessed to create with so many people at the club who I now call my friends. I found my permanent solution at the Boys and Girls Club. I believe the club can provide support to teens feeling as though suicide is their only solution. It could be that positive atmosphere when they are full of doubt. I've always loved the message above our doors that reads, "Through these doors, walk tomorrow's leaders." And as tomorrow's leader and Youth of the Year, I want to use my platform to give anyone, teen or child thinking of suicide, an outlet to their local Boys and Girls Club, and like me, find their permanent solution. Thank you.
Truly amazing and inspiring. Thank you to all the finalists who shared their story with us today. Now, please welcome Corinne Henry, the 2018 State Youth of the Year, to the podium.
Hi, everyone. So at this time, we're going to be recognizing 5 special award recipients as selected by our State Youth of the Year judges. So each award winner will receive a special medallion and a generous gift from the Johnny Janasic World of Furniture and a check for $200. Presenting the awards will be Chris Basher, Chief Operating Officer for Boys and Girls Clubs. As I call up your name, please come forward to receive your awards, okay? So first up is the Johnny Janasic Outstanding Essays Award. As a part of their application process, each state finalist submitted 3 essays. Judges assessed essays based on the content, clarity, and overall quality. They selected the finalists they thought produced the most effectively written essays taken as a whole. The winner is, thank you. Yeah. Sorry, I'm struggling.
They use that Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, and the winner is Yashim Washington from the Claymont Boys and Girls Club. Congratulations. Next is the Johnny Janasic Academic Achievement Award. In determining the winner of the award, the judges had to decide whether to go with the highest grade point average or the candidate demonstrating the greatest academic growth for his or her high school career. So the winner is with a 3.81 GPA is, it's pre-open this time, easier for me to open. So the winner with a 3.81 GPA is Alexia Jordan from the Dover Air Force Base. Next is the Johnny Janasic Community Service Award. While Mr. Janasic demonstrated all of the qualities represented by these special awards, the Community Service Award perhaps is that highlights his career caring for others and the generous community service. Judges were asked to select the finalist who has demonstrated exceptional and consistent effort in strengthening his or her community by helping others. The winner of this award is Yashim Washington from the Claymont Boys and Girls Club.
You going to be able to carry all this hardware home? Congratulations.
Next is the Johnny Janasic Leadership Award. This award goes to the finalist who demonstrates exceptional leadership over their time in service to club, family, school, and/or their community. Given the leadership qualities that each of the finalists demonstrate, selecting a winner for this award was very difficult. So the winner of this award is Allie Maurer from the Western Sussex Boys and Girls Club.
Congratulations.
Okay, I believe this is the last one. Next is the Johnny Janasic Outstanding Speech Award. Public speaking is another skill developed and tested throughout the Youth of the Year program. Last Monday, each finalist delivered his or her Youth of the Year speech in front of the judges. Judges were asked to assess the speeches based on the candidate's relatability, his or her level of comfort in their physical presentation and voice, his or her ability to present the audience with a clear picture of his or her ideas. Now that we heard just 4 out of the 8 finalist speeches, I'm not surprised to hear that the judges had a very difficult time selecting the winner. The competition was very, very close, but the winner is Sharice Johnson from the Greater New York Boys and Girls Club.
Hopefully this make your life a little very good. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations to all the special awards winners. Thank you.
Boys and Girls Clubs of America now request that the State Youth of the Year judges also select the State Youth of the Year runner-up. Should something prevent the State Youth of the Year winner from representing Delaware in the coming year, including the regional and national YOY competitions, the person selected as runner-up would assume the state YOY title. Presenting the award is John Wellens, President and CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs of Delaware, Mike Hare, Chairman of Boys and Girls Clubs Corporate Board of Directors, and George Kropansky Jr., former President and CEO. And so, this significant honor goes to yeah, like it is hard. The runner-up is Sharice Johnson, Greater Newark.
I would like to say thank you to my parents for introducing me to the Boys and Girls Club. And a thank you to all the staff at the Boys and Girls Club for being a part of my life for so long. And thank you guys for all being here during this pandemic.
Wow, what a ride. This has been so fun. So we're just gonna skip the last part and I can stay State Youth of the Year, right guys? Oh, y'all don't wanna do that? Well, after hearing those speeches, though, I don't think Mr. Basher will let me get away with that. So we have one more minor thing to do, I guess. Just kidding. Being selected State YOY is one of the biggest things that have ever happened in my life, and it has helped me in so many ways. The award is now named in honor of one of the Boys and Girls Club great champions and former longtime president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Delaware, George Kropansky. This year's State YOY will receive the traditional On Wings Like Eagles trophy, a recognition plaque, and $2,500 scholarship from the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a $2,500 scholarship from the Boys and Girls Clubs of Delaware, and a $1,000 award from Johnny Janosic World of Furniture. In addition, he or she will represent Delaware in the Northeast Regional YOY competition, which is one step away from joining 4 others in national YOY competition and possibly emerging as a national spokesperson for America's youth. Once again, to receive the winner is President and CEO John Wellens, Chairman Mike Hare, and George Kapransky. The moment we have all been waiting for. The 2020 Youth of the Year for the state of Delaware. Can I get a little drum roll? Cherbet from Greater Dover.
Way to go. Congratulations.
Thank you. I work with children, and I'm pretty sure that if they were doing this in the classroom, I would be upset, but as I accept this award, I would like to give a special shout out to everyone in the room right now, so clap for yourselves. I would love to give a special shout out to the Greater Dover Boys and Girls Club. And I would love to give the biggest shout out to Mr. Jermaine Duncan. I'm going to win regionals as well. Thank you.
Congratulations once again to everyone in their individual awards. Congratulations once again to Donovan, Ali, Hannah, Yasim, Alexia, Sharice, Tiana, and Jaheem. We are honored to have you recognizing clubs across the state, and we look forward to seeing your many accomplishments as you all embark on your great futures. So look around you and look at where you are, because your leadership has only just begun. Thank you for your attendance and support, and enjoy the rest of your evening.